responsibility not tell nobody nothing. I can't blame the other person for spilling it. I should have known fucking better. Charles, you hear me? Charles, you there?
Yes, I hear you, and yes, I agree.
You agree with what?
I do. I agree that at the end of the day, be very careful what information you give people and what you say to people, because especially on this app, they will rage across the app with it, even a little bit. And then if they don't hesitate, then they expect you to give the whole story, and or they'll become storytellers, and they will create the narrative, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's not what I said. But you exactly. So in order to avoid that, right? How about you just don't tell nobody nothing?
Exactly, I agree.
I'm
the same way.
I don't my beans and getting the narratives all misconstrued and getting from and playing telephone with my information. It's my fault. I should have never told you shit.
That's true. Absolutely. If you didn't want it out there, you should have never said it in the first place.
I mean, that's how I was taught and raised. I was like, if you don't want, or don't do nothing wrong, and then nobody will have nothing to talk about.
Well, it's inevitable. We're always going to make mistakes, right? But in and of itself, that inherently is different. But again, that you have a choice to put your information out there, or put your story out there, right? Whereas making mistakes, we're always that's kind of an inevitable thing. Sometimes we do it. No, I make my mistakes. I do my mansplaining, and then you correct me, right? Or whatever. Those kinds of things. So that's a mistake. But I'm also not out here telling people everything about things like what my children went through, or things like that. I'm not going to put that information out there.
So going back to this word protection, do you think that I'm just protecting myself?
Protecting myself.
Right. Just protecting yourself, right? To me, so I don't need Charles to protect my information. I'm just going to protect myself by not giving anybody my information.
Absolutely.
So I don't think I need anybody to protect me.
Well, okay. So I guess the word protection is kind of the trigger word, right? But me, it's not that I feel like I have to protect women. It's that I feel like I need to check men when men are disrespectful to women. There's a difference there, right? Okay. And I may be seeing it differently, and maybe I need to look at it a little differently for what women how women see things. But to me, I'm checking the man and squaring the man up because he was being disrespectful and hateful to a woman.
Okay, so what does that mean though? Like you checking the man, that he's gonna be like, Charles, you're right. I want to change the whole way of living.
Because at the end of the day, I can't change who they are, and I can't change who they're going to be. Mm-hmm. But at least at that moment, I can change the action.
No, I don't think it does. I don't think it ever changes anybody's action. All they do is go back and forth with you until somebody fucking drops out. So it's not really doing anything, honestly.
But to me, okay, well, and maybe, like I said, maybe this is a different and an old school mindset or whatever, but I would rather them come at me than come at you.
Oh, God.
And I know you don't need all that. Yes, we hear that. I understand.
Also, believe
me. Hold on.
Does it make you feel better?
I understand.
You feel better that you did this, even though somebody doesn't need you to do this?
Well, in a way, I guess you're right. I guess in a way it does make me feel better. But in and of itself, it's kind of that's something I was raised with, that I need to be willing to step up and step forward. And maybe it's older mindset. I hear you over there, oh lording and all that stuff. Okay. But inherently, I have a protective nature. That is who I am.
I don't think anybody was doing it on the internet. I mean, it's again, now physically, if you're in a person's physical presence, then I can understand you doing it. But if we're like on the internet, right, and we could just turn off this fucking app whenever the fuck we want to, I can't understand, or kick somebody out of a room or mute them, or like we have so much more control on the internet than we do in person. Now in person, like I said, inherently, I can understand you wanting to protect the woman. If I'm in the street with you, Charles, and a man is sitting there cursing me the fuck out, yeah, I expect you to jump in there, and because I know how my mouth is, and I know a man could hurt me way more than I could hurt him. So there, I want that type of protection. But on the internet, how can you protect me on the internet?
Okay, so well then maybe I'm bringing real life protection into the internet where it may not be needed, but an inherent nature is hard to change.
Oh, Lord, I don't think that's inherited. I don't think okay, so because to me, and I'm not just saying you, Charles, I think not just you, I see it a lot on this app because I think that like we keep on talking about everybody needs protection, we need protection, we need protection. And I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck does protection look like when you really physically can't do anything for me to protect me, right? Or what are you doing? Protecting my feelings? Is that what it is? You're protecting my feelings?
Well, protecting your, okay, so, all right, so I was raised chivalrous. Okay, let's be honest. I was raised that chivalry is what a man must do. Okay, hold on. Hear me out.
This is the internet.
Laugh at me all you want, but it is what it is. I was raised that men are to be chivalrous, and as a man, even on the internet, if I am going to protect your honor.
Oh my God, my honor.
Hold on. I went there for a reason. Hear me out for a second. Okay? Bear with me.
I know, because okay, go ahead.
Walk through this shithole with me for a second, okay? Just walk with me. Okay. So, for me to protect your honor and your name, right, on this app, I would inherently stand up and check a man who is being that way. Okay, so that is a form of old school chivalrous protection because I am protecting your name and your who you are on the app.
And who I am. You're protecting my name and who I am on the app.
And it may be useless.
It's completely useless, Charles. It's completely useless.
Because does that mean? But hold on, though. But let me ask you a question, though.
They're gonna do what the fuck they want to do anyway.
That's true. All right. But let me ask you a question, though.
I see it in a different way. I feel like it gives me the attention. Look what kind of great man I am because I was able to protect Adrian's honor and protect her name. So I look so good because I was able to do this. To me, it's more of validation. You need validation for.
But am I asking for the validation? But am I asking from the validation?
No, but your action.
Okay, so then technically
the validation.
But so technically, it's not for validation if I don't ask for the validation afterwards.
So why do something that has no
because inherently I have a hard time, especially in real life. Okay, and I'll be. In person, if a man is sitting there doing that in real life, I really have a hard time not stepping in. Okay,
so you have
but on the app, I have now. Hold on. I have learned that women don't need protection. I understand that, and I have learned how to step my ass back and allow women to take their own fights and do their own things and whatever. Okay, but originally, when I first came on the app, okay, I had my mindset from what happens in real life. I brought it onto the app.
Do you think a lot of people have a hard time
differentiating the two? Yes.
I couldn't say that fucking word.
Yes.
So people can't. They think that being on the app is more of a reality. They don't know how to differentiate between the two.
And I think it kind of, to a point, it really kind of is some people's reality because there are some people who are on here 24/7. That's all they do, right? Now, those of us who have jobs or have life or have children or whatever, we have our own other things that we need to do in life. So we're not focused all on the app 100% of the time. But at the end of the day, there is still and I will admit that I have my flaws. And yes, that was a flaw that I have inherently in me, who I am. But again, is it really, though, a bad thing for me to have the flaw of wanting to step in when someone does that to you?
No, Charles, not for every woman, just
So what
Adrian.
did you say?
Oh, okay.
So that's all I came to say. I don't want you to stop doing it because you feel like every woman feels
He
that
ain't
way.
gonna
No,
stop
y'all don't
loving
feel
my
that way.
daughter. He full of shit.
But Adrian
He's
just don't
about
like
it.
it. So that's what she's saying. So and now for me, I prefer it because there's some crazy ass men and crazy ass people out here in the world. I don't want to be the one standing up there arguing with the crazy motherfucker. If you gonna step in, because number one, men that attack women, men that'll do something to a woman, if a man step in and say something, they'll step back and they won't do shit. And the reason I say that is because they already weak as fuck because they willing to do something to a woman. So when a man steps to them, that puts fear in their heart, so they now leave the shit alone. And I see it on the app.
And I have learned, and that there are times when I need to shut and stay to sit back and not do that. I used to do it all the time. I used to always do it, and I will admit that, and I'll admit that flaw. But I still have a hard time seeing women being mistreated, and it is just something in my nature. I cannot stand women being mistreated. It's just what it is, and I'm going to say something when a man is mistreating a woman. That's all there is to it. I've changed a little bit. There you go, Adrian. I've changed a
But
little bit,
wait now, Charles. When
but
the
not a
women
lot.
tell you they don't want it now, you gotta respect that too.
I
So you
do.
don't make them
That's
mad.
part I'm
Cause
saying.
you,
I have learned that.
yeah.
Like on here, like especially on Adrian's live, right? I have learned that she wants to go back and forth with these creepy bastards and helicopter boys and all that kind of stuff. She likes to play with her food. Okay, go get it. But I have learned to step back because she likes to bring that New York out of her, and she likes to tear their ass up. Gotcha, not a problem. I have learned when I need to be able to step back.
Hey,
Right?
Miss Shay. Good morning.
That's the thing I am learning. Well, let me say this: I am learning because sometimes I still do it when I'm not supposed to, but most of the time I'm learning how to step back.
Good morning, AC. I didn't even see you come in. Sorry, go ahead. You guys keep on talking.